Elder Trump Card Authority officials include rallied about the CEO next the produce of a volume how grown doubts above his psychological public health. Michael Wolff's volume Flame and Rage, within the Trump Card White's building paints a injuring picture of the U.S. CEO. But CIA head Mike Pompeo said Fox News story Saturday the depiction was clean imagination, and politics advisor Stephen Milling machine operator said CNN Mr. Trump Card was a policy genie. Donald Trump Card 2 has extended to struggle behind versus the volume. I've had to put up in the counterfeit news story of the at first day I announced how I would be fleeing for CEO. Now I include to put up in a counterfeit volume, spelled by a completely disgraced writer. Ronald Reagan had the identical issue and processed it so. So will I. CEO Reagan as well florid questions above his psychological public health time in office space, though several observers saw the compare as useless taking into account he was after undiagnosed in Alzheimer's illness. The volume has sparked a social fracture among Mr. Trump Card and his ex-policymaker Steve Bannon, who is cited as charging Mr. Trump Card's eldest son Donald Jr. of traitorous behavior in Meet a Team of Russians. Talk to Fox News story, Mr. Pompeo told Concoction on the U.S. CEO's absence of competency were ridiculous, fair clean imagination. Time the volume suggests Mr. Trump Card lacks intelligent curious, Mr. Pompeo told, same CEO is betrothed, he understands the difficulty, he asks very hard questions of our crew at the Central Intelligence Agency. Mr. Milling machine operator attack Michael Wolff as a waste writer of a waste volume. He as well tore in ex-White's building assistant Mr. Bannon, description him as of concern in fact. The tense face on CNN ended in the anchoring Jake Tapper cut off Mr. Milling machine operator, charging him of creature serval. Meantime UK Main Secretary Theresa May has sacked concerns on Mr. Trump Card's psychological public health, proverb she saw who someone is devoted to enabling how he is take decisions in the top interests of the joint state. Flame and Rage went on selling previous on Friday, days front of its planned produce and in spite the CEO's lawyers' attempts to unit its publishing. It has been an instantaneous bestseller. The volume describes a Trump Card crew stunned by their own win on poll overnight. White's building staffers proverb Mr. Trump Card's psychological powers were sliding, and elder authority officials inviting Mr. Trump Card and fool. On Sunday, CEO Trump Card contested the volume's expense, description oneself as a really steady genie. Flame and Rage is according to reports relying on more than rather than 200 interviews and flight on the wall accessing to the White's building. Its writer said NBC's encounter the click he tell in the CEO immediately few times, but told how Mr. Trump Card might not include been aware they were interviews.